I'm sorry, this autofocus never gets old. I cannot stop playing with it. Hello and welcome back to another video here on Riverside Tech. And just last night, 10 o'clock, I got back from Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. That's right, Dubai isn't a country, it's a city and an emirate. The country is the United Arab Emirates, and there are 7 emirates. And today I'm going to be giving you some advice as to how best to travel, get around, and do stuff in Dubai and the rest of the United Arab Emirates. And I think by the way I experienced it, I think it's a way I will be able to provide you with some more value as to other videos that I've seen on the internet. And a few of the things I did I think I haven't heard before, and I think that it might be of some use to you. If you do enjoy this video, please of course hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos. And so let's get into the tips. Number 1, travel. You can get a car from the airport, it's fine. The car rental isn't expensive. You can get yourself a nice sports car. We got a Camaro for a couple of days, which is great fun to drive around. I'll get into that a bit later. But Dubai is a pretty linear city, so it's all along the coast, not like a circle like London is, which means that they have a metro going all the way through it, giving you pretty much access to everything you'd want on the city. So you can go to Jumeirah Beach, and that can take you all the way over to the main bit of the city where the Burj Khalifa is, and so downtown Dubai. And this train is really cheap. I think it's about £4, maybe about $5 or something for a standard ticket, and about double that for a gold ticket. And the gold ticket is basically first class. And I would recommend going for this gold ticket. We went on this gold pass train for 3 days, and from what we saw from this carriage, it seemed like we definitely made the right decision. At busier times in the evening, it was definitely a lot less crowded. You got nice leather seats, and it was just a lot quieter in there. And so I'd recommend going for this gold ticket, unless you really don't want to spend £8. It can take you pretty much everywhere you need. You can get the trams and buses and everything. And so yeah, this is a fantastic option for you. And I'd definitely recommend getting tickets. It's a great way to get around the city. Now, what are the things to do in Dubai? Now, of course, there are the main things. Definitely go up the Burj Khalifa. That's a fantastic view. I think it's 2 times the height of the New World Trade Center and about 3 times the height of the Shard. So those are tiny compared to the Burj Khalifa. So definitely go up that. The funny thing is about the metro is that you can go pretty much from Jumeirah Beach to the top of the Burj Khalifa without ever having to go outside out of the air conditioning. And we were there in the summer in about 45 degrees, and so you don't really want to go outside. And it's great, you can just stick to the air conditioning the whole way there. I think it's like a kilometre of air-conditioned walkways from the train station up to the mall and the fountain, the Burj and everything like that. And the fountain is great as well. They have a show in the afternoon about 2 o'clock, and then every half an hour from 6 o'clock into the evening. And this is, I'd say, the best, I think it's the biggest fountain show in the world, but yeah, it's the best fountain I've ever seen. So much better than the Bellagio, if you've ever been there. And yeah, definitely see that in the day and the night. Every hour, the music is sort of traditional Arab music, and then every half an hour it's more modern. So I'd say the hour ones are definitely better. So make it for that, definitely. Another thing you can do, which no one really advises you on, most people say about going on desert safaris, which we never did because it was too hot in the summer. But we did go on a desert drive in the Camaro, and this is basically going about an hour out of the city. It doesn't take long, about half an hour drive out, and you're in probably the weirdest place you've ever been, because there's construction of mansions just scattered randomly. It's not like, but the way they do it is weird, because they have some houses which are like done and others which are half done, and it's weird, I don't get it. But that's the way it is, and there are mosques everywhere which are really cool. Some of them are shaped pretty interestingly. We went out in the Camaro, went for a drive, and we went off the motorway, which takes you about an hour, and then went on this one road which we never saw anyone, and it's just surrounded by sand dunes. And at one point we were going along this road. Strangely, there are speed humps everywhere. I don't get it, it's the middle of nowhere. There's no one really, apart from a group of like 50 camels crossing the road at one point. It was weird, but this was pretty cool to see. Got some nice photos of the Camaro that we're in out on the sand dunes towards sunset sort of time. I'll do a video on tips about how to travel in the summer, because it's a very different experience to as when you'd go in the winter. yeah, I'll leave that for another video. And thirdly, I'd recommend going to Abu Dhabi. And I think you can probably get a bus there, but if you have a car, then it's great. You can just drive about an hour over to Abu Dhabi. I wouldn't say there is much to do over there, but there are two things which I would recommend doing. One of which is to see the Grand Mosque. Now, I didn't go to this personally because it was too hot, and basically because of their religion and culture, you've got to wear trousers at a mosque. And I didn't want to wear trousers, so I didn't go to the mosque. But we did go and see the Yas Marina racetrack, which is pretty new, and you can get a tour around it. We got a fantastic tour. We went around an SUV around the track, which is great fun. We saw the control room, the trophy, and learned some interesting secrets about that. But yeah, I'd recommend going to see that racetrack and doing that tour. It was fantastic. The guy was great. Now, a few other things to see would just go and see the Burj Al Arab, which is the 7-star hotel. Seeing that at sunset, getting nice photos and things is a very nice thing to do. I'll go on the canal. There's a nice bridge with a view of the city. Go there. And yeah, so desert safaris are probably good things to do in the winter, but in the summer it's just too hot. I wouldn't recommend it. You can't really stand out at the air conditioning for more than about 20 minutes. Even then, for the whole 20 minutes, you're thinking, when am I going to get back in the air conditioning? But it's all good fun and an experience, I guess. And so the third point is driving around. The good thing Dubai and the UAE have is they're relatively new cities. Now, unlike London, they built the city and then they have to squeeze the roads in wherever. But Dubai had the luck, I guess, of building the city at the same time as building the roads. And so they're really well integrated. They take you everywhere you need. They are tolls, but they're really cheap, about £1 or something. And sometimes they can be a bit complex, and driving around, some drivers are a bit crazy, so they'll cut you up and swing across 5 lanes. Or another point about the Palm, people sort of think that you can't drive on it, but you can. You can drive up it to the Atlantis, and then you can either go left, east or west along the 2 crescents, and they're quite fun for just a nice drive, a few photos. But the thing about the Jumeirah Beach Palm sort of area is it's so humid in the summer, like to an incredible level. And we had a balcony, and whenever we went and stood on that in sunglasses, they'd just instantly steam up and would take about 2 minutes to de-steam. And when I took this camera out, it was really annoying because I'd get it out and the lens would just steam up, and I'd wait about 5 minutes, clean the lens, but then inside of the lens it steamed up. So at one point I could not take a picture. But the good thing about going in the summer is the sea is so nice and warm. And usually in the UK you'd expect, even when it's hot, you'd go into the sea and it's still a bit cold. But there it's like when you run a bath, and stepping into that, it's just so nice and warm. And then the last thing I think is important to address is to show appreciation for the culture and religion. So the UAE and Dubai is a Muslim country. 20 years ago, they'd have been much more strict on things like what you wear, but nowadays they're a lot more tolerant because of tourism and everything like that. But it's still good to sort of follow their traditions. Their religion prefers you to cover your shoulders and everything. So I'd advise not wearing very exposing clothes, sort of just wear a t-shirt, and shorts is fine. I think 20 years ago shorts wouldn't have been good, but it's fine now. But yeah, I'd recommend researching into their religion and culture before you go, just so you can be careful on things you can do and things you can't do, because a lot of their laws are based on their religious beliefs. And yeah, one last point to end on would be that there is so much construction. Now the marketing, I guess, is probably a few years old, and because in a few years they have a thing called the Expo 2020, which they are building a ton of stuff for. Like, you can't look in a direction and there's not 5 buildings being built, or 5 skyscrapers at least, even around the Burj. It's just insane. So here are a few pictures that I took, and as you can see, it's hard to take photos of things without getting a big skyscraper construction site in the shot. And this is something to bear in mind if you're going to be taking photos, because it was particularly hard. I'd done a lot of research beforehand to see where to go, at what time, and when you got there, it was just a complete construction site, and the view was just more buildings being built. So yeah, maybe it was just the summer, there's more construction, but I think after 2020 is probably a fantastic time to go once everything's been built, and it's probably a lot more picturesque place to go and see. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to see more videos here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.